Okay, so Oblivion Siren said first portrait help. So this is my first portrait painting, second painting overall. I took a short online portrait class. I've been working on it in small layers for a couple weeks. Yesterday I finished up the eyes and I absolutely hate the eyelashes. Is this something you would paint over and repaint? It's mostly just for practice. Okay, so let's check out some of the photos that Oblivion Siren has over here. Okay. So, okay, I see exactly what you did over here. And from what I'm seeing is that you tried doing the blocking out method, but you didn't really do it in an effective way, because the way how I would block out, first of all, is actually, before I get to that, let me show you exactly what you did, and I'm just going to point it out. All right, so first of all, what you did is you created a trace and you used pencil, which pencil is fine, but I just wouldn't really recommend using pencil, because when I create my underpaintings, I like to use just straight up paint, because using pencil is going to get messy and it doesn't really help me in a way that I actually find it effective. But if you want to learn more about creating underpaintings, I have a video that you can check out. It's going to show you exactly what I use for creating my underpaintings. But before you get to that, I'd say that you just keep on watching this video right here. You can watch that afterwards. But you created the blocking out stage right here, but you're using different colors than what I see in your final product right here, because right here your colors look very warm, and when you're blocking out here, the colors look very cold. It's like greenish and yellowish in a way. But over here, you see that when you look at it, it's like a nice little, it looks like you used like some reds and like some burnt sienna just to warm up the tone. So when you're blocking out, that's a big mistake that I see. You don't want to be using different colors than you would in your final, because if you just try to block out for the sake of blocking out, like, oh, let me just see where the dark colors will be, let me just fill out this whole picture out just with paint so that I can go back over it with another color again, then you're just wasting your time. And just wasting your time. If you're going to block out, just go block out directly with the colors that you know that you're going to use in your final. Because I personally have messed up with this as well, because when I first learned about blocking out, my teacher, she told us that, okay, when you're blocking out, you just want to use very large brush strokes, and you're going to be just filling out the whole photo with the general colors that you'll be using. But what I didn't really understand about this is that you want to be using accurate colors that you're going to be using in your final. Okay, so if your final photo is going to be warm tones, you want to use those same exact warm tones that you're going to use for your underpainting and for blocking out, so that when you actually finish blocking out, you don't need to go back all over again, all over again, and you just need to start sharpening it out. Okay, you should only have to sharpen up these little details that you have on the face. It shouldn't be you going all over again, because I see that's what you did over here. I see a complete color change from this photo over to this photo. So that is one thing I definitely say for you to do, is to just use your warm tones instead of using these cool tones and then going over all over again, because that's just going to be a waste of your time. And also your proportions are a little bit off, and that's the reason why I also say to use the same method that I use for creating underpaintings, because it's going to get all of your shadows in the right place, it's going to get all of your highlights in the right place, and it just makes the whole painting more cohesive too. And also, if you want to check it out, I do have a 7-step guide on how to paint portraits perfectly every single time. I go over all the different stuff that I use, and it's in the description. You just got to type in your email and I will get it sent to you right away. So use your proportions correctly, and then you start blocking out with your accurate colors that you use. Don't just use random colors to block out. Use your colors that you know that you want in your final for blocking out, so you don't need to go over it again. And now for the next stage right here, I see that you started blending in all those colors, yeah, for the blocking out stage. And from here is where you actually start putting in your shadows. Now you should start putting your shadows a little bit earlier than that, because this whole area right here you see is a little bit choppy. You could have blended it better if you started using these dark colors earlier on, such as like your blocking out stage right here. You want to start putting in those dark colors earlier and stop waiting for so late for you to put these in right here. And also your hair too, you see that it's kind of messed up by that background because you went over it late. You want to set those places down early so that you don't need to have such a huge mess on the canvas when you're trying to paint over it. All right, and then from here it's starting to look good. I see that you started actually blending in and started putting some of the highlights. You see like in the eyes right here, some light reflections, also on the lips. You put those lights right there, so that's a pretty good stage right there. And you said that you didn't really like the eyelashes, so let me see how you made your eyelashes so I could give you some advice on that. Okay. And also, yeah, another thing too, I see that you put the eyelashes down for your trace with the pencil. Don't do the trace with the pencil because you're gonna just paint all over it again with your eyelids and those color tones. You see how you did it right here. All that tracing that you did earlier just went away and you're not going to be able to see it. So just don't put those areas down. And the eyelashes, yeah, they look very stringy. And painting eyelashes isn't just about doing strings. When you look at a real face, you're not going to see those individual strings on the eyelashes. Like, let me bring down a photo right here for you to get a reference of it. Okay, so let me take this one here for example, just so you can see. All right, so this photo that I made right here, you see that the person clearly has eyelashes, but it's not really showing that much. It's just a dark line that you're going to be using over top of the eye, and that's like a shadow. Okay, when you look at even pictures like the Mona Lisa or like very famous photos, then you see that they don't have the individual eyelash strings. It might look like that like as an illusion, but really it's just like a dark line that they put over top of the eye, so it gives it sort of like a shadow. Okay, and also something too is put some shadowing on top of your eye right here. Put some shadowing over top of the eyelid so that it has some more depth on it. Okay, because right now it's looking very flat. It looks like the eyelid is sort of like at the same level as the eye. But if you put some shadowing over top of the eyelid too, it's gonna take away that need to have like such stringy eyelashes that you did right here. Okay, so how I would do this is I would take like a light gray, and then I would sort of just blend it lightly over top of where that fold is, where the eyelid meets the eyeball. So just something very as simple as that. It sounds so simple, but it makes such a difference. I'm telling you right now, if you just do that right there, you're gonna take away that need of having to create all of those little lines. Okay. And another thing too is put more detail into the hair. So put like some highlights in the hair. The hair right now is just a very strict brown color, but it makes a huge difference as well. All right, so put some highlights, even just like where the light is reflecting on the hair. It's gonna make the whole picture look way nicer, because right now only the skin is having light reflections and it looks kind of off when the hair is just one flat color. I don't know if you did that intentionally or if you just didn't know, but definitely put that down and you'll be good. But a good thing that you did right here is with the eyeballs. I see that this is a good example of the point I was bringing up earlier with the blocking out. You see this eyeball right here, you use the same color that you used for the underpainting or blocking out phase that you use for the finish. You see that you're using like the same exact green. It's not like a change. That's exactly how you should be doing it just for the skin, because you didn't have to go over the whole eyeball again with like a different color green just to match like your final photo. You just tweaked it and you sharpened it up with these little blacks that you put in that like that reflection and those like little like places of white where there's like different sort of shades in those green eyes. So that's exactly what you want to do, but just with her skin tone, okay? And also with the lips too. You want to get those lips the same color that you want. I mean, they're sort of similar, but I can tell that you used like a different type of red, because this one here, like I'm saying, is cool color, but over here is like a warmer type of red. Okay, But apart from that, you did pretty good on the details of the cheeks too. Like you have that warmth on the cheeks. You could tell where there's more blood flow and like where the skin is sort of like smoother and where there's like some more texture. So I definitely say that you did good on that. So props for you. But apart from that, I think that that's like the main issue that you're facing. Just getting those proportions correct and also getting your colors right. If you get all of that done, then you'll be in a way better place. And like I'm saying, just focus on those little details like around the eye. Put those shadows around the eyeball, and then you, instead of creating like stringy eyelashes, just use like a straight black line that's gonna like sort of taper into that shadow, and it's gonna create like a illusion of an eyelash, because no pictures really use those like stringy eyelashes. So definitely say for you to stay away from that. But yeah, apart from that, I think that you're doing pretty good. Just need a little bit more guidance in these areas. And once you implement these things, then you'll be in a way better place. And again, I want to promote that 7-step guide on how to paint portraits. It's in my description. You're also going to join my emailing list where you're going to have the access to work with me. I'm going to be launching art coaching. So I definitely say for you to check that out if you want to get better at portrait painting. All right, so I definitely feel like having guidance along this journey is very helpful. So I'm gonna break down all of this knowledge that I've learned from my years of painting, my years of experience, my years of getting teaching from different people. And I'm gonna tell you all the things that you need to know. I'm gonna take away all the fluff, because there's definitely some fluff that you shouldn't be listening to. It's very simple if you just break it down into easy steps. So I definitely say check that link in the description right there, and you're going to get access to that guide sent directly to you. All right, so I want to thank you all for watching this video. And if you want to learn how to mix any single skin tone that you want, I definitely say for you to check that video out on the screen right now. And I'll see you all over there.